we got free stuff. Another Flashback Master Set player, this time the 93 overall Matthew Barzal, and like I said, we can get him completely free. Here it is, the Flashback Style Icon 2.0 Matthew Barzal, and in my opinion, these were like the best looking cards simply because like they made sense with like the style of the player, and I just really enjoyed the card art. However, more importantly, as you can see, 99 speed and excel at 97, mid-90s shooting, almost maxed hand stats, and the potential to almost max out his face-off rating as well. He's got gold wheels at 99 speed, silver elite edges, born leader, and third eye. Again, one of the best free cards that we have gotten from EA, especially when you consider that the maxed out speed, that means that you could use him for the rest of the game, to be honest with you. The fact that you can put two-way forward as well as defensive boost on him to get his face-off rating almost max is just another added bonus. However, obviously you would lose that +2 to speed, but still 97 is more than fine. Now, if you weren't around for the other Flashback Master Set items, the way that you get them for free is inside of HUT Moments. As you'll see, you'll log in here and you will see Flashback 2.0, and you will see 3 specific moments for Matthew Barzal Style Icon card. Forewarning, these are difficult. Some are easier than others. However, be prepared to struggle quite a bit, regardless of your skill levels. Some of you will find these very easy, some will not. Complete transparency, I did this on stream, and it took me an hour and 20 minutes. I'm in Division 2. I get 12 to 14 wins in HUT Champs, so to just put that in perspective for everyone else that's comparing their skill level. I will have a video that will go over every single one that will show you tips how to do these very easily. But starting off with the first one, score bottom left goals with Matthew Barzal. You just need 1. Score 3 more, and then just take 13 total shots. That will net you 8 flashback collectibles to get you kind of set, because it gets much more difficult. On All-Star, you've got to get 3 top shelf goals with Matthew Barzal. It can be left or right. 4 assists, which I know a lot of people struggled with. And then shoulder checks as well. You'll need 13. That will net you far more flashback collectibles. And then finally on Superstar, in 2-minute periods, you've got to score 4 top left corner goals, get 5 assists, and 9 shots between the legs. The shots have to be on net. Now, remember, you do not have to complete all 3 in one attempt, meaning that you can score 4 top left corner goals the entire game, finish the game. You cannot quit out once you've done the moment to get it to stick. You need to finish the game if you do not complete all 3, and then load in with that one already completed, and then work towards the assist. Once you've got the assist, finish out that game, and then one more time, do the 9 between the legs goals. This goes for every other moment as well. So remember, you don't have to do all 3 in one go. Now, if you aren't able to get all of the moments done and you're frustrated and you don't want to spend the time doing it, that's fine. And again, if you really hate your life doing it, I would complete the ones you can, and again, I will have a video walking you through how to do all of them. You can then complete Matthew Barzal by just trading in cards and getting it done. Now, these look to be settling in around 6,000 per collectible. You need 60. That totals 360,000 coins if you were to complete them all to get Matthew Barzal, and I'll be honest with you, it's probably worth it. But again, I wouldn't do them all, just easily do some of the moments and knock down the price. However, alternatively, this pack in the store at 375,000 coins is almost directly in line with the value it would cost to actually make the card from scratch. That's obviously if you don't have any cards in your collection and knock down the price. I don't think that you should do this, but the fact that you get the Matthew Barzal card, 15 bonus players, and then a power-up collectible, which is at about 12 to 15,000 coins in value, it's not a terrible deal, but again, I wouldn't recommend doing that at all because you can make it much cheaper for yourself. For the love of God, do not spend points to make this. I get it if you're in your 30s and you've got stupid fun money to play with, just don't. I beg. It's like $60 in value. Do not do that. Now, we also got flashback style icons from prior master sets from this event in years past, starting with the 90 overall Erik Karlsson. He's got offensive and two-way defenseman, as well as shooting and accelerator boost with 94 speed and excel, which is extremely impactful. The only issue here is that I'm not a huge fan of his abilities. He's all offensive, but he doesn't have maxed out speed, so you don't want to use wheels. And he's only got 80 body checking. However, with the body checking being reverted back prior to the patch that was just released, you can get away with smaller players, but 80 body checking, I would look for a little bit more, so not a huge fan of this card. Then we've got Brent Burns at 6'5", 230 if you don't want to use his forward card, two-way and offensive, as well as agile and shooting boost, 92 speed across the board with his skating, but he's got gold shutdown, which is far more impactful, just like the Nations of Hockey Victor Hedman. You could pair these guys as a tandem, and it's going to be very difficult to get by them, so I would much rather have this Brent Burns card. However, need to point out his defensive awareness is rough, so you need to put two-way defense defenseman on him, in my opinion. Jacob Chikrin also gets a card at 6'2", 220, two-way and offensive, as well as shooting and accelerator boost. His skating is quite low. In fact, lower than Brent Burns, and he's only 6'2", whereas Brent Burns is 6'5". Does have gold truculence, which is great, obviously, but I think there would be other cards I'd rather have, just given the low skating here, and the fact that he's not like 6'7", like Victor Hedman. Tyler Seguin gets a card, 6'1", 205. He's got sniper and playmaking forward, as well as shooting and playmaking boost. Gold tape to tape, ankle breaker, make it snappy, and wheels. Not a huge fan of any of these abilities, so unless you are a Tyler Seguin fan, I would probably pass. Ryan Whitney, the throwback. He's got offensive and two-way, as well as shooting and playmaking boost. On top of that, gold tape to tape, 1T, elite edges, and stick 'em up, so not great abilities. I don't mind stick 'em up on someone who's 6'4", because obviously he has a much longer reach. 93 speed, excel, and agility across the board. 90 body checking. Don't mind this card, honestly, if you were looking for another left-handed defenseman. Honestly, I'd probably rather have this Ryan Whitney card than Brian McCabe, just for the price point. Then we've got Paul Bissonnette, 6'2", 216, enforcer forward, as well as defensive and shooting boost. This is big for anyone that has Matthew Tkachuk and Gordie Howe, and you're trying to activate enforcer forward with an actual impactful player. Gold truculence, big tipper, crease crasher, unstoppable force. Really fun ability combo on Paul Bissonnette, and one of the more funny guys in hockey. 99 body checking and shots in the 90s. His hand stats are pretty brutal, but again, I think that there's a lot of players that could use this card. And then lastly, we've got Carey Price. Again, goaltenders do not matter, but Carey Price cards in prior games were always extremely good. Think back to his X Factor in NHL 22. He's got 96 speed. I would have loved to see gold light work after the buff to light work on this card, but you know, he could be one of the better goaltenders in the game. It all doesn't really matter. Goaltenders suck, but Carey Price cards have been better than other goaltenders in terms of their attributes, so just letting you guys know. We also got a change to this week's HUT game day cards, as Calle Yarncroke is actually hurt, so he has been switched to Matthew Nyes, who has got the full John Cena treatment. So for anyone looking for a card to get a big upgrade via shots, I'm not gonna lie, Matthew Nyes has not had a ton of games with a lot of shots on goal, but just wanted to point that out. Taking a look at some of the other live moment cards that came out, we got a 90 Alexis Lafreniere, 6'1", 194. He's got two-way and playmaking, as well as playmaking boost and checking boost. Gold puck on a string, no contest, close quarters, and unstoppable force. 90 speed and excel, but only 80 endurance. Again, we've seen that the endurance on a lot of these like live moment or base cards are just really rough, and unless they bump them up to the 90s and do a little custom build on all these, it's going to be awfully tough to justify spending the coins to get these cards, because with the change to hustling, it's just they've run out of energy so fast. Last card I want to highlight is the 89 Ilya Sorokin. Sorokin cards have been kind of hit or miss in the last few years. This one's got gold light work, which from the latest patch, light work appears to be one of the better abilities. So give it a shot. Again, goaltending is only going to be as good as your defense is in game, so just keep that in mind, but he's got gold light work. Now again, guys, I will have a full video going over the easiest ways to get Matthew Barzal's moments completed. I might even release it the night I release this video, but just be on the lookout. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Enjoy the new Matthew Barzal. Have a good one, guys.